In 1932, the US government began one of the most horrifying medical studies in history. For 40 years, hundreds of black men in Tuskegee, Alabama were deceived, denied treatment and left to suffer, all in the name of science. This is the story of the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest danger isn't disease itself, but what people in power are willing to do in the name of progress. The Great Depression had gripped America, and poverty was widespread, especially in the rural South. In the small town of Tuskegee, Alabama, the US Public Health Service began what they claimed was a study on bad blood, a local term used for various ailments. What the men didn't know was that bad blood was actually syphilis, a sexually transmitted infection that could cause blindness, brain damage, and even death. The government recruited 600 African-American men, 399 with syphilis and 201 without, promising them free medical care, meals, and burial insurance. But instead of treatment, they were given placebos, lies, and false hope. The doctor's real goal was to observe the natural progression of syphilis, to watch what happened when the disease was left untreated. For the next 40 years, the men were denied penicillin, even after it became the standard cure in 1947. Doctors told participants they were being treated, but instead performed painful procedures, spinal taps, blood tests, and autopsies to collect data. These were fathers, husbands, veterans, men who trusted their government, and that trust was exploited. The secret might have lasted forever. But in 1972, a whistleblower named Peter Buxton, a public health worker, leaked the story to the press. When the Washington Star and the New York Times broke the news, the nation was horrified. US Public Health Service conducted experiment on black men without treatment for 40 years. The outcry was immediate. The study was shut down and congressional hearings followed. In total, 128 men died directly from syphilis or related complications. Dozens of wives were infected. Children were born with congenital syphilis. An entire community had been used as human test subjects, not for medicine, but for cruelty disguised as research. In 1974, the government reached a $10 million settlement with survivors and families. But it wasn't until 1997, 65 years after the study began, that President Bill Clinton issued an official apology. Clinton's words, "What the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry. But the damage had already been done, not just to the victims, but to the nation's trust in medicine." For many African Americans, the Tuskegee study became a lasting symbol of betrayal and racial injustice in healthcare, one that still affects perceptions of medicine and vaccination today. The Tuskegee study changed how the world viewed ethics in medicine. It led to the creation of institutional review boards, stricter informed consent laws, and the Belmont Report, which outlined the ethical principles of human research. But legal change cannot erase moral scars. Every time we ask people to trust science, we must remember what happens when science forgets to be humane. Because Tuskegee wasn't just a failure of ethics, it was a failure of empathy. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study reminds us that progress without compassion is dangerous, and that the human cost of deceit lingers for generations. It's not just history, and it's a warning. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos exploring the dark truths of history, because understanding the past is the only way to protect the future.